So here's the likely real reason World War One starts. World War One starts because the Great British Empire, Russia, France, Italy, the USA, and China needed to stop the Ottoman Empire, and they also needed to stop the first time Germany trying to become an empire. And they wanted to also introduce the Zionist movement. The Zionist movement would then have the same values as conservatism. All empires have been built on conservatism. And if you're the right type of white and you all dislike the brown and smelly people and the Muslims, and if you don't know what Russia is and China is, you haven't been looking at the Chinese dictatorship Muslim reprogramming camps. You haven't been looking at Russia and China, who own most of Africa now, and why we are fighting France, the UK, and the USA, Italy, and the Israeli state. It's because China, our frenemies, decided to do what frenemies do: shank us. You don't think BRICS was an accident? Oh, please. BRICS an accident. You probably think Elon Musk spending $44 billion on Twitter was an accident. Do you know what Twitter is going to be used for? Propaganda. Conservatism propaganda. Zionism propaganda. Yeah. Do you know what else it's going to be used for? Elon Musk has the biggest hard-on for X, the digital currencies. He's had the hard-on since the PayPal days, when he threw a temper tantrum and threw his Musk family name and said, "You will put me in some kind of job in PayPal." He wanted PayPal to be called X. He wanted PayPal to be X digital currencies. So, what could Twitter be used for? What is being pushed on Twitter a lot? Porn bots, propaganda, digital cryptocurrencies. What does BRICS need to destroy the USA dollar and the USA petrodollar? Ah, a digital currency, which would be very handy on X digital currencies. What else does Elon Tesla need? Oh, cobalt. Cobalt for batteries. I wonder where they get the cobalt from. Oh yes, the Chinese dictatorship. The Chinese dictatorship that own 37 cobalt mines and guard them in Africa and South Africa. A clever African man figured it out and killed some Chinese people last year. Check with AP News if you don't believe me. He killed people in a mine. They were only Chinese. Yeah, the native people. Yeah, Chinese people are native to Africa. You're being played, Africa. You're being played, South Africa. You're only in BRICS to give it a little bit more legitimacy. Same with Brazil. They're going to rape your minerals, your lithium, your cobalt, your mercury, and there are many other minerals that I can't pronounce. Some of them begin with T. They are going to rape Brazil, and they are going to rape Africa and South Africa. Just like the French do, just like the UK do, just like the USA does, just like the Israeli state does. Oh, and don't forget those blood diamonds that the Israeli state like. Who's been buying gold? Who's been buying silver? Who's been buying diamonds? Ah, Russia, China. Great for war, because currencies go. So lots of gold, lots of silver, lots of diamonds. They buy the new weapons, while currencies tank. Please, please wake up, sheep people. Bear. Look, like I said, World War One was no accident. Ottoman Empire had to be. Germany had to be stopped in the making. Couldn't have a German Empire. Because maybe the Germans were figuring out what the UK, France, the USA, Russia, and China were up to. They were going to create the Zionist movement, whether it be in Africa or Palestine. Do you know who was first awarded the state? It was an African country. Great British Empire already gave it to them. And then the Danish colonizers, without an irony of ironies, wrote in the largest African newspaper and said, it would be unfair to be displaced by non-native people. Since when were Danish colonizers native people to Africa? Oh yeah, they weren't, but they didn't see the irony. And the Great British Empire was so embarrassed, it said, sorry, Zionists. I think it was 1903, 1906, the 6th annual Zionist meeting. They said, we have to withdraw that part of Africa now. You can't have that African state anymore. You can't have your own Zionist homeland. And if you even bothered to look at Palestine and what happened in the Middle East afterwards, the Zionists had to bomb, threaten, and intimidate Orthodox Jews out of all the Middle Eastern countries. They targeted synagogues and Orthodox Jews, because bringing a bit of religious movement and Orthodox Jews being persecuted in World War I and World War II brings legitimacy to a Zionist political indoctrination cult. Do you know what the Zionists love? They love those royal families, especially the British ones. Whoa, they looked up to them. They went, wow, you little England Island, you stole Scotland, you stole Wales, you stole Ireland, you stole Northern Ireland, you stole parts of Africa. We admire you. Oh, you also helped us, didn't you? Royals weren't allowed to, Christianities weren't allowed to, Catholicism wasn't allowed to charge interest. No point stealing wealth if you can't make profit. So they went to some of the richest, well, they weren't rich yet. We made them rich. They said, hey, you little Zionists that are a bit conservative, does Orthodox Jewish religion have this nonsense about can't charge interest? And they went, no, we don't. They went, you can be our bankers, accountants. Yeah, you can be our bankers and accountants. And in return, we'll make sure the Zionist movement grows. We'll make sure you get your empire one day and sit with Russia, China, the UK, France, Italy, and the USA. You'll sit with us one day. And then we'll hand stitch you into the world politics and every political party around the world. And that'll give us cover for as many more years that we need. Because no one will dare say anything, because we can go anti-Semite.